Hi Neil, hope you're well. Thanks for visiting us today at the golf centre. Really enjoyed it, mate. Good to see you. Um, this is the footage that we took at the start of the session, obviously using body track. You can see top left there, your pressure trace is what I call linear. So it moves straight into the right foot, straight into the left foot. There's not much toe heel imbalance. That's a real linear trace. Love how you start with 60% pressure in your lead foot. That's going to make it really easy to shift the pressure into the trail foot during the backswing, and then from there you can shift the pressure back into the lead foot. So we'll keep an eye on that as we're scrolling through. I'll also talk to you about the 3D findings that we had as well. So loving your posture. You said you've worked really hard on that. Alignment and posture looking really good and really clean, and your ground force looks really good to start off. As you start to move the club away, we know that you get a limited amount of pelvic rotation. This is also something that you also spoke about before I even before we even looked at the 3D. You said you'd been working on this with in the past on your pelvic rotation. So really limited amounts of rotation. Somewhere around 17 degrees at the top of the swing. We did a little bit of biofeedback, just letting your pelvis rotate a little bit more, getting a little bit more into your right hip. So keep an eye on that. At around this part in the backswing, the 3D analysis helped us to understand that your club velocity, or your lead hand velocity, obviously the sensor is on the glove, and the thorax velocity is simultaneous. So you get quite a lot of what I call riding, where both the upper body and the club are moving at the same speeds. There is no breakaway of the golf club. There's no kind of run on of the golf club. The upper body and the club are moving simultaneous, because you've got a limited amount of pelvic rotation around 17 degrees. Also got a limited amount of upper body rotation around 68 degrees. So I'd like to see you getting into this right hip a little bit more, letting the pelvis go rotate a little bit more. That will just free up the upper body a little bit more. And then I'd also like to see the club and the arms just break away from the upper body a little bit more. You'll see at this point in the swing, pressure's loaded 80% in the trail foot, so that's really cool. In transition, we know that your lower body leads, and we know you get a good separation, but the upper body for me really hangs back. I'd much prefer to see the upper body stacked a little bit more on top of the lower body here, which will also bring your right elbow, your trail elbow, a little bit more out in front of the body. And it will also mean that your hands are a little bit more on top of the golf ball. That's what I'd like to see. And then from there, you will have centered. So your sternum will be a little bit more in front of the ball, and that's going to help you to strike ball turf. You were saying that when you're not on, you feel like the blow or the strike is a little bit glancing. And we obviously discussed if you can achieve all this, you might get a little bit more forward lean of the shaft, which will help you control the face really good. We also know that you're tilted sideways, somewhere in the region of 35 degrees at impact with the ball. We did a little bit of training. For me, we've let the pelvis rotate a little bit more. It looks like you've got a little bit more upper body rotation, although we didn't measure that. But you've certainly got a little bit more arm and club run on in this backswing. I much prefer this position on the right hand side. You look really coiled. We then worked on what we called centering the lower body, and then centering the upper body. And you'll see the hands are a little more on top of the ball, and the elbow is a little bit more in front of the body. Clearly, you've not got as much tilt to the side. And then from there, that's going to help you to, or allow you to, just continue rotating and squeeze the ball a little bit more. Neil, hope this has all helped. Great to get some feedback from you. I'd love to hear how this has helped and how you progress. Speak to you soon. Cheers, Neil.